I like Joel. I want to see what Joel has to say, so let's talk to Joel, okay? Don't let architecture astronauts scare you. Without even reading anything of which Joel is saying, I'll tell you this much. Sometimes architecture astronauts can have a lot of power at a company. And when they have a lot of power at a company, they may not scare you, but they may create a lot of shitty work for you. So that's like a real thing, and you need to remember that. This article is older than most of chat. Absolutely. This article is from April 1st, 2001. You must understand that Joel, he is a formative individual who has created a lot of how you think about the programming world. He is before I even started programming. I was not programming in 2001. 2003 is when I started to dabble into programming. When great thinkers think about problems, they start to see patterns. They look at the problem of people sending each other word processor files, and then they look at the problem of people sending each other spreadsheets, and they realize that's a general pattern. Sending files. That's one level of abstraction already. Then they go up more level, or then they go up one more level. People send files, but web browsers also send requests for web pages. And when you think about it, calling a method on an object is like sending a message to an object. Or it's the same thing again. Those are all sending operations. So our clever thinkers invent a new, higher, broader abstraction called messaging. But now it's getting really vague, and nobody really knows what they're talking about anymore. Blah. Nice. When you go too far up abstraction-wise, you run out of oxygen. Sometimes smart thinkers just don't know when to stop, and they create these absurd, all-encompassing.
Thank you for inspiring me at 50 to build my first website in Go and Skite, rather than falling back on PHP and MySQL like I used 15 years ago. Would have been easier, but you made me expect more from myself.
You know, I have a strong belief that most people's biggest hurdle or barrier is typically themselves. Way to go. Being 50, crushing it out, learning new tech, feels good. Feels really, really good. Let's see, when you go too far up, abstraction-wise, you run out of oxygen. Sometimes smart thinkers just don't know when to stop, and they create these absurd, all-encompassing, high-level pictures of the universe that are good and fine, but they don't actually mean anything at all. Not only that, but often, really good, high-level understanding of the universe can feel really good in example applications. This is why to-do apps are just one of the number one destruction of software engineering, because you can sell almost anything to be really amazing in these to-do apps. And a lot of these newer frameworks and some of the iterations that they're going on, they make all these design decisions around smaller projects, and it feels good and it looks good. And they're like, look at how small we're making this. Look at how concise. Look at how good it is. And then when you actually use it and you need to slightly step outside the bounds, it's like a crap show. And I'm not even just talking about React. This happens when I create my own software. Okay? When I went in there and I was doing the deck right here, this deck right here was a major pain in the ass because there's all these abstractions that I made to describe the problem. And guess what? The problem wasn't actually described well because the problem was defined in a universe in which I had the wrong thinking. You know what I mean? And so by having that, it just made a really dumb experience. Anyways, I just thought I'd throw that out there. And that sometimes you will create these abstractions in your own life, which you think are great because you keep abstracting in your mind, and then you realize you made something dumb. And so a huge thing that I've been trying to do this more and more and more aggressively is just constantly don't abstract at all until it's painful not to abstract. Because then at that point, I'm ready to abstract the true abstraction. Because how I typically did it before is that I'd abstract and it'd feel good in the moment and it'd look good, and then you'd throw something on top of it, and then the pain's just that much greater because now you have to de-abstract, then discover the new one, right? I always can't do it. It's just been something I've been just hating lately. These are the people I call architecture astronauts. It's very hard to get them to write code or design programs because they won't stop thinking about architecture. They're astronauts because they're above the oxygen level. I don't know how they are breathing. They tend to work for really big companies that can afford to have lots of unproductive people with really advanced degrees that don't contribute to the bottom line. I cannot tell you, obviously working at a very large company, I can tell you that there was lots of this, lots of really big talk. Now, some of it was actually good. To be completely fair, when you're designing really large systems at really large companies, it is nice to have people that are like, hold on. Let's make sure we think through these things. And that can be very, very beneficial because you're trying to like slice into a large world. But there's also people that every single change, no matter how benign it is a talk about the greater architecture. Like everything is a referendum on some decision made 10 years ago. And it's like sometimes an if statement's all you need. Polymorphism is not what you want. Sometimes an if is just an if, right? A recent example illustrates this. Your typical architecture astronaut will take the fact like Napster is a peer-to-peer service for downloading music and ignore everything but the architecture, thinking it's interesting because it's peer-to-peer, completely missing the point that it's interesting because you can type the name of a song and listen to it right away. Also, most people here never even used Napster. Do you even know what Napster is? 2001 moment? Dude, strong 2001 moment. There's a whole group of people that are just like, dude, I don't even know what Napster is. Let's see. All they talked about is peer-to-peer this, that, and the other thing. Suddenly you have peer-to-peer conferences and peer-to-peer venture capital funds and even peer-to-peer backlash with the imbecile business journalists dripping with glee as they copy each other's stories. Peer-to-peer, dead. Dude, this is actually so good. I can't believe this thing is 25 years old or 24 years old, almost on the dot. And we're reading it, and there's so many parallels you can draw. Like, people forget that, you know, there's this thing that someone just made against a DHH just recently. I have it in my little savings, my little bookmarks. Let's jump in that bookmarks really quickly and look at this thing. Dude, I forget always how to navigate this. Where's bookmarks? Blah, 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 something about 37 signals, when what they should have been focusing on was creating an AI feature, right? Why save money? Like, why have the bird in the hand when there could be 10 in the bush is really the argument he's making right here, which there's a lot of truth to this argument. There's good things. Sometimes it's good to go for the big bets as opposed to the sure bet, because the big bet could greatly change things. So I understand the heart of the tweet. So I don't want to dunk on it for the heart of the tweet. It's just right now I'm dunking on the specifics of the tweet, which is, it's like exactly this. Why was Napster good? It's because you can get the song right away. No one cared about the peer-to-peer. It's the fact that you could get the song right away. That's what made it great. It's like, yeah, AI is great when it's used really, really well, but just putting AI in everything doesn't make it good. Stop it. Stop doing that. The architecture astronauts will say things like, can you imagine a program like Napster where you can download anything, not just songs? Then they build applications like Groove, and they think they're more general than Napster, but which seem to have neglected that wee little feature that lets you type the name of the song and listen to it. The feature we wanted in the first place. Talk about missing the point. If Napster wasn't peer-to-peer, but it did let you type the name of a song and then listen to it, it would have been just as popular. Boom, boom, boom. Am I the only one that doesn't like companies throwing AI into everything? Oh, I think we all do. Like, it's annoying when it's just there for the sake of being there. It's great when it's like really aligned. It's really annoying when it's not. Another common thing architecture astronauts like to do is invent some new architecture and claim it solves something, like Java, XML, SOAP, XML, RPC, Hailstorm, .NET, Genie. Oh, Lord, I can't keep up, and that's just in the last 12 months. Dude, XML, RPC, some of you have no idea. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with these architectures. By no means. They are quite good architectures. What bugs me is the stupendous amount of millennial hype that surrounds them. Remember Microsoft.NET white paper? No. Damn, it was all a psyop. 24 years later, it was actually a psyop to get me to use Bing. That's what it was. I'm sure it's on the Wayback Machine. Someone can find it on the Wayback Machine. They just knew. They knew. They knew. The next generation of Windows desktop platforms, Windows.NET, supports productivity, creativity, management, entertainment, and much more. And the desire is to put users in control of their digital lives. That was about 9 months ago. Last month, we got Microsoft Hailstorm. That white paper says people are not in control of the technology that surrounds them. Hailstorm makes the technology in your life work together on behalf and under your control. Does anybody have any idea what Hailstorm is? I literally have absolutely no idea what Hailstorm is. Oh, good. So now we have high-tech halogen light in my apartment will stop blinking randomly. Microsoft is not alone. Here's a quote from the Sun Genie white paper. These 3 facts, you are the new sysadmin, computers are nowhere, the one computer is everywhere, should combine to improve the world of using computers as computers by making the boundaries of computers disappear, by making the computer be everywhere, and by making the details of working with the computer as simple as putting a DVD into your home theater system. I think this analogy is lost on a lot of people, but hey, let me hit you with a little quick fact. I bought my house in 2020. I moved into my house in 2021.
Hey, it's me. I'm the problem. I'll stare directly at the sun, but never in the mirror. Knowing these lyrics makes you the anti-hero.
Anyways, there was a Blu-ray player that was just left in our house. I decided one evening to test the power because our TV wasn't working. So I said, I bet you the power's out. So I just clicked the DVD button to open the thing just to kind of do a quick test, just to see. And I realized I never once opened that DVD player. It's been in there for a long time. Open it up. Let's just say the front cover had whips and leather. And it was a little bit more interesting than I was realizing what was going to come out of that DVD player. Blu-ray, of course, specifically on Blu-ray in 2020, okay? I just want you to realize that. 2020, still rocking Blu-ray. Crazy. It wasn't even like, Scorpion King specifically on Blu-ray. And don't even remind me of the fertilizer George Gilder spread about Java, a fundamental break in the history of technology. That's a one sure tip-off to the fact that you're being assaulted by an architecture astronaut. The incredible amount of bombast, the heroic utopian grandiloquence, grandiloquence? I don't know that word. Grandiloquence? Grandiloquence? Grandiloquence. I've never even heard that term. The boastfulness, the complete lack of reality, and people will buy it. The business press goes wild. Dude, that's so funny. Java being like, yo, Java, this shit sucks. It's 2001. He doesn't even know what the next 24 years are about to hold for him. Oh my gosh, that is funny. Why the hell are people so impressed by boring architectures that often amount to nothing more than a new format on the wire for RPC or a new virtual machine? These things might be good architectures. They will certainly benefit the developers that use them, but they are not, I repeat, not a good substitute for the Messiah riding his white ass into Jerusalem or world peace. No. Did I just commit sacrilege by reading this? Can't tell what just happened there, but I might have just blasphemed. Wasn't prepared for that one. It's like the Shaq meme. Is it Shaq or no? It's not Shaq. Who's the guy? Charles Barkley. Dude, I literally turn into Charles Barkley constantly.
Hey, this is Charles Barkley. I hope you're enjoying the NBA playoffs on TNT. And I hope you have enjoyed my T-Mobile Fave 5 list. I'm a dumbass.
That is so funny. I hope you know that. He's a troll and throws truth bombs. Just read anything. Anyways, Microsoft computers are not suddenly going to start reading our minds and doing what we want automatically just because everyone in the world has to have a Passport account. No, son, we're not going to be able to analyze our corporate sales data as simply as putting a DVD into your home theater system, which, by the way, analyzing corporate data to this day, 24 years later, is still a massive pain in the ass. Just to be completely fair, he nailed that line. There are entire departments whose only goal is to attempt to figure out what the hell happened. There's just a lot more data now. There's a lot more data. Things got a lot harder. Remember that the architecture people are solving problems that they think they can solve, not problems which are useful to solve. Oh my gosh, that is such a banger quote. That quote might be the greatest quote I've ever heard in my lifetime. Oh, baby, that is so good. So plus Wisdle, I don't know, Wisdle, may be the hot new thing. That guys, remember, this is 24 years old, okay? Soap is, in fact, not a hot thing, okay? May be the hot new thing, but it doesn't really let you do anything you couldn't do before using other technologies. If you had a reason to. All that distributed service nirvana the architecture astronauts are blathering about was promised to us in the past. If we used a DCOM or Java Beans or OSF DCE or Corba. Dude, I love this. This is so funny. There are literally people in this chat right now who have more microservices than users. You know for a fact it's true. You have more microservices than users, and that's ridiculous. Let's see. It's nice that we can use XML now for the format on the wire. There has to be people right now that are just like, what the hell is he talking about? Guys, remember, there was a time when people just invented their own version every single time. I'm just saying, having a unified way you could like get dictionaries out was really great. Not hand-rolled. JSON didn't exist in 2001, okay? When did Douglas, is it Crockford, invent JSON? He didn't really invent it. He just more observed it. I mean, if you're going to be true about it. Yeah, he specified the data format JSON and has developed, let's see, 2008? I'm using DuckDuckGo right now. JSON was discovered. It was more of an observation. If you're completely fair with it, it was an observation. Oh, look at that. He and Chip Morningstar sent the first JSON message in April 2021. Oh, so that's literally the same month. The same month as this. Nice. Okay, there you go. It's literally the same month as this. How great is that? How great is that? Whoopee. But that's about as interesting to me as learning that my supermarket uses trucks to get
Just
things from the
vibe
warehouse.
with Elixir and Gleam and Protobuf and message pack on the wire. Distributed systems are cool.
I'm sure they are. There's a lot of great things with distributed systems. I'm just simply observing the fact that when people need distributed systems, all they really are asking for is a reverse proxy to some server. And that's about as much as it is. All right. Whoopee. That's about as interesting to me as learning that my supermarket uses trucks to get things from the warehouse. Yawn, mangoes. That's interesting. Tell me something new that I can do that I couldn't do before, oh astronauts. Or stay up there in space and don't waste any more of my time. Dang. This man was fighting the good fight so early on. I can tell you, there was some pretty serious architecture astronauting that went on during the 2010s to 2020s. Right? Consensus is not just a reverse proxy. You're right. Consensus is not a reverse proxy. In 99 point, I don't know, how many nines do you want? Pieces of software do not need consensus algorithm. Like, what the hell are you doing? If you're getting 1,000 customers a day and you have consensus, you deserve to be kicked in the neck. Okay? Doc, just use SQLite. Like, what are you doing? I got 1,000 users, but don't worry, we got consensus algorithm and multi-regional fallback. Don't worry. If all of US West goes down, we'll fall back to US East, and if that's down, we'll go to Azure. We have a team of 10. We have a team of 10 that runs all of this. It's really awesome. It's like super resilient. Oh, really? What's the product like? Oh, we're definitely in the red. We're burning really hard. We should be out of business here in the next 6 months if we do not 10x our revenue 2 times in a row. Anyways, good luck. Good luck, everybody. That's 100x? Yeah, it's a joke. All right, well, hey, I love Joel because Joel is the guy that was saying before everybody else, hey, maybe we don't need to solve everything to the nth degree. Try to figure things out first. What is useful? What is good? What is the telos of something? Understand that, and then you can make great software. I love this. I love this guy. I don't know what he does, but I love Joel. I want to talk to Joel. Get Joel on the phone right now. You know how we do the stand-up twice a week? I'm going to try to get Joel on the phone. How great would it be if we got Joel on the stand-up? Dude, it'd be so cool. I love his takes. They're so awesome. So if anyone's listening to this that knows who he is, send him a link, send him a message, let him know that we greatly appreciate it and we'd love to get him on. Again.